When you hear Pixar Cars YouTubers, you probably think of ones who buy a bunch of cars, collect them, put them on a shelf, and their collection grows throughout the years. I used to be one of those people, thanks to BluCollection, obviously, and other friends who encouraged me to continue to collect when I first stopped. Now, I think it's safe to say, this is real this time, I officially stopped collecting Pixar Cars Diecasts. Although it was a while back already. What? But you're a Cars YouTuber. How can this be? Well, let me explain some of the reasons why I stopped collecting Pixar Cars Diecasts. Reason number one. I wanted to try something different in the Pixar Cars YouTube community. A majority of the YouTubers in this niche do diecast reviews. I have nothing against them. It's kind of like the quote-unquote culture or norm of the type of content Cars YouTubers make. But knowing me, I like to talk a lot, and there weren't many commentary videos out there in the community. The only time you'd see a commentary was if there was something new, like the Cars 3 movie back in 2017, or when Cars on the Road first came out and discussions started sparking up. I decided to make a channel solidly on commentary, and even though it's sometimes hard to think of ideas, I think the switch paid off at the end of the day. Reason number two, space. I've collected ever since 2011, and I will be so happy when I saw a new car. When Dad was still around, he was dragged into my craziness and even made shelves for me to start displaying my collection. My cars room is in the basement of my house, and well, with the amount of cars I got within the years, clearly there is less space than before. The basement also serves for other purposes, not just my cars collection. Now don't even tell me to move my collection to my room because my bedroom is even smaller than the basement. Also thinking about it, I collected not only Pixar cars but also Disney planes. Like, how many of us also collected planes? And the amount of cars and planes basically led into reason number three, the money. I remember Dad sometimes looked at the Hot Wheels when we went to stores, and then he looked at the Pixar cars, and then he wished all of them were just the same cost of $1. I assumed that if it were him, he'd collect Hot Wheels instead. But there was one pet peeve that I eventually saw of his that I could relate to now. You would have to sometimes collect packs in order to buy an exclusive car, but the pack has a bunch of repeats. If you couldn't find a car in a store, you'd either have to go to Amazon or eBay, and don't get me started with some of the pricings I saw back in the day. I feel so bad because I bugged my dad so much that when I was at school, he'd take time out of his day to go to stores to look for cars for me. Even if they were an hour away, I send him on literal missions, I tell you. Now this I didn't even realize when I was younger, but I got older and I started realizing it. Bills were something that we need money for. And college too. Also, college is not like your grade level schools. Grade level schools, you already have your textbooks there already. The teachers have it set up for you. But in college, no. You have to buy them all by yourself for the classes that have required readings. And don't get me started with some of the sneaky ways colleges find and use in order to make more money. Reflecting on all that, it also leads to the final reason. Collecting Pixar Cars Diecasts was not really a necessity, but a desire. I just wanted these things. Now, yes, they did help me with a bunch of the content that I have on the channel now, but with the life that I have now currently, 2024 heading into 2025, I do not see the need for me to have to collect more diecasts. It's like I already grew out of the collecting phase, and I'd just rather do something easier for me and something I genuinely enjoy doing. I always thought that if you were a Pixar Cars YouTuber, you'd have to have the biggest collection in the community or nobody will pay attention to you, but that is not the case. Now I have some questions for you. Have you stopped collecting Pixar Cars Diecasts? If you have not, do you ever consider stopping in the future or not? If you have stopped, do you regret it or not? I would like to know the side of my audience in the collecting phase. How do you feel about it? Leave all your thoughts down in the comments below.